On that day, Elway had a tough time. He's sacked here by Leo Wisniewski. Last Sunday at Mile High Stadium, it was a different time for John Elway. Starting again, he threw 2 touchdown passes to lead his club to victory. This one to Clint Sampson. The Baltimore Colts have number 33, Curtis Dickey. Week to week, one of the outstanding rushers in the National Football League. Today, it's the Baltimore Colts visiting the Denver Broncos. Today's game is brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth. Quality products from the new Chrysler technology. By Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears. And by Sylvania Superset Color TV and the complete line of Sylvania home entertainment products. And good afternoon on a glorious day here in Denver. The temperature around 50 degrees. Marvelous weather to play football. Jay Randolph along with Bob Chandler. Bob, this is a big game as we take a look at the people who are in contention, of course. The AFC's best records, Denver 8-6. They're very much in the playoff picture. The Baltimore Colts have been a team that hasn't given up. They're much improved. They are 6-8 on the year. And, of course, the emergence of Denver and John Elway.
Jay, it is really exciting to see a young quarterback like John Elway take that step forward to becoming a bona fide quarterback. Here we're going to see him throwing to his 2 favorite targets, rookie Clint Sampson, who has also come on strong in these last few weeks, and his other all-pro and the most reliable receiver on the team, Steve Watson. Elway last week did a little bit of everything. He scrambled, he threw long, he threw short, and he played with the kind of confidence a quarterback in the National Football League needs.
There is John Elway. He's warming up. A look at the playing field here in excellent condition. The prescription turf. The Broncos lead this series 4-1. The Colts have never won here. Carlos set to kick off to begin play. Larry Anderson and Kendall Williams are back to receive. Denver and Baltimore. Here we go. Kendall Williams. And he's going to come out. Gets to the 10, finds a little opening, but is down at the 12-yard line. Kendall Williams made the decision to come out of the end zone. Wilbur Myers, number 29 for the Broncos, in on the tackle. And the Colts don't start with very good field position. The ball is spotted at the 14-yard line. Pagel, Dickey, and McMillan. The offensive backfield, the receivers, Porter, Otis, and Sherwin. Hinton, Donaldson, Wright, and Harder starting up front. Baldischweiler is out with a neck injury. First down for the Colts. The handoff going to Dickey. And Dickey gets a couple. Dickey starts the day with 920 yards and a 4.3 average. The tackle made by Tom Jackson, number 57. The defensive unit, Chavis, Carter, and Jones. The defensive line, Ryan, Busick, Gradishar, and Jackson. Good linebacking crew. Lewis Wright, Mike Harden, Dennis Smith, and Steve Foley in the secondary. Second down and 8. And the pitch back. That's Dickey. Across the 20-yard line. Dickey, who played at Texas A&M, of course, has been a key factor in controlling the football. Barney Chavis, 79, and Steve Busick, 58, make the tackle. The gain out to the 22-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Sellout crowd, the 101st consecutive sellout at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Beach is in there at the tight end position, number 81. That's Porter coming in motion. And on the run, Dickey. He's got the first down and more. Dickey moving it out to the 28-yard line. So a first down for the Baltimore Colts. The Colts, with that 6-8 record, last Sunday lost a tough one, 10-6 to the Jets at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore.
We're taking a look at Curtis Dickey here, Jay. Curtis Dickey and McMillan are such fine backs. They run the ball so well, but what they do so well for each other as they blocked for each other. On Dickey's last run there, McMillan threw the block that sprung him, and we'll see that from them throughout the afternoon.
Pagel gives it back again to Dickey. And Dickey slashes out to the 35-yard line. They're working on that right side, Bob. The tackle was made by Chavis, number 79, and Gradishar, 53. Pagel, the young man who played, of course, for Frank Cush at Arizona State. And he's a gutty young man. These last couple of games, as Baltimore fans know, will decide whether he is going to be their number one man when they start next year. There is Frank Cush, 54 years old, a native of Windber, Pennsylvania. One of 15 children. A real battler. Second down and 3. Pagel handing off to McMillan, who gets the call for the first time. McMillan has a first down just over the 40-yard line. Barney Chavis, number 79, made the tackle. So the Colts moving the ball along the ground here.
Well, you know, I'd really like to see them open it up today. They love to stick with that ground game. That is their strength, McMillan and Dickey. But they know that if they get behind, they have to be able to throw the ball. What they would like to do is get out in front on Denver and still control the ball and keep their defense off the field.
And Pagel's first pass of the day, if he gets to throw it, he's on the run. And he is out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. Pagel with 382 rushing yards coming into today. A 9.1 average, a Colt record.
A scrambling quarterback like Pagel presents a problem to a defense. They really, if they're going to sack a quarterback like Pagel, who is looking for the run if he gets pressure, what they'll have to do is get him on the second time around, Jay.
Houston surprisingly leading Cleveland in the fourth quarter. San Francisco beating up on Buffalo, fourth quarter score. A final, Chicago over Minnesota. Alvin Moore is in the backfield now with McMillan, and it's second down and 3. And that is Alvin Moore, stopped short of a first down. No gain on the play. Steve Busick, the third-year man from USC, number 58, left inside linebacker, made the tackle. It's going to bring up third down and 3. Cincinnati 17-9 in the fourth quarter over Detroit. Seattle leads the New York Giants in the fourth quarter. New Orleans defeated Philadelphia 20-17 in overtime. Dickey has carried the ball 5 times for 22 yards. It is McMillan and Moore in the backfield right now. No, Dickey is back in. Or check that. This is McMillan, and he doesn't get it. They had Alvin Moore and McMillan in the backfield. Jim Ryan made a fine play. The left outside linebacker, number 50.
Well, if they're going to try and pick up those 3 yards going outside, one thing that they can't allow is the kind of penetration that Jim Ryan got there. We may see Baltimore go to that right side, to their right side, often today. It isn't because Jim Ryan and Steve Busick are weak over there. It's because Randy Gradishar and Tom Jackson are so strong on the other side.
The top punter in the National Football League, Ron Stark, ready to punt to Zach Thomas. Stark averaging 45.5. Angle to the far sideline and going out of bounds near the 15-yard line. That's where they'll mark it, at the 15, and Denver will take over there. Oh, the Broncos will have the football when we come back. 9:48 left to go in the first period. No score here at Mile High Stadium in Denver. This telecast presented by authority of the NFL. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the NFL is prohibited. There's a final. Houston defeats Cleveland 34-27. First down for John Elway and the Denver Broncos starting from the 15-yard line. Winder and Poole in the backfield, coming in motion. That's Poole, and the handoff to Winder. Winder gets a couple, trying the left side. Winder starts the day 11th in the AFC with 717 yards and a 4-point rushing average. Vernon Maxwell, the right outside linebacker, on the tackle. Elway, Winder, and Poole, the offensive backfield group. Sampson, Watson, and Egloff are the receivers. Bryan with Bishop and Howard, Lanier and Studdard on the front line for the Broncos. 2nd down and 7 from the 18-yard line. Elway going to the air for the first time, and it is incomplete. Looked like he was trying to set up a little screen on the left side, and doing an excellent job was Barry Krause along with Steve Parker. They stayed at home. He threw it out there to Nathan Poole, but Poole was very fortunate just to be able to hold on and kind of get it away from him without somebody taking it away. Thompson, Wisniewski, and Parker, the defensive line. Braceland, Odom, Krause, and Maxwell are the linebackers. Burrows and Randall, Anderson and Nesby Glasgow in the secondary. It'll be 3rd down. Gerald Wilhite and Jeff Miles are in the backfield now, and Elway operates out of the shotgun. Elway, a lot of time, throws, and he overthrows his intended receiver, number 84, Sampson, up at the 32-yard line. Tate Randall had the coverage. A tough throw on the run for Elway, and he let it soar.
Well, there's some good things and bad things about that, Jay. Elway knows where his pressure is coming from. He steps up. He gets away from his pressure. The good thing about it is, as he starts to scramble, as we see here, he's still looking to throw the ball, and that's important. He didn't quite get it down where he wanted to, but the most important thing when you have a quarterback who has the ability to run is that he still looks to throw the ball while he's scrambling.
Punting time for Luke Prestridge, the 5-year man from Baylor, averaging 42.5. That's Larry Anderson back to receive. And this is a boomer. Anderson backing up at the 27, at the 35. And down he goes. Leading the way, number 21, Myron Dupree, the cornerback. He really got down there quickly. It was a 54-yard punt. 4.2 hang time. We've got 8:45 to play. A scoreless first period here in Denver. There's Dan Reeves, the 39-year-old native of Rome, Georgia, in his 3rd year as head coach here. Pat Beach, number 81, playing tight end for Tim Sherwin, who has a neck problem. That was Beach who came in motion to the right side. Curtis Dickey, and he doesn't get a thing. Maybe a loss of about a half a yard as Randy Gradishar made the play. Gradishar, number 53, playing his last regular season game here at Mile High Stadium in Denver today. What a great gentleman. 6 times he's been in the Pro Bowl. 10-year veteran from Ohio State. Very special man.
I think, Jay, the only guys that'll be really glad to see Randy retire are the ones that are still active in the National Football League.
Pagel swings it out. Dickey cuts it up over the 40. And still going. At the 45, the 50. Penalty marker is down. Dickey's at the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown, but there is a penalty marker back at the 43-yard line. Brilliant run by Dickey, but they may bring it back. They're going to. The referee today is Fred Silva. The umpire, Tom Hensley. Head linesman is Norm Kragseth. Bob Beeks is the line judge. Pete Lisk, a former Denver Bronco, the back judge. Dave Perry and Don Orr complete this
81,
officiating team.
illegal block above the waist
Now we
on
watch
Baltimore.
again.
75, Denver, personal foul, roughing the passer, offset, replay, 2nd down.
Oh, we've got offsetting penalties, and it nullifies a brilliant run.
Well, this is probably one of the finest open field runs you'll see all year, and what amazed me about that, Jay, is something I had mentioned a little earlier. Throughout that run, McMillan was blocking for Dickey the whole way. It's rare to see that, although it's supposed to happen. Another great runner like McMillan, they usually like to conserve their strength. They like to get ready to carry the ball themselves. But he's a very unselfish player, and he's been leading the way for Dickey on almost all his runs so far this afternoon. It's too bad that had to come back.
The infractions were against Beach and Latimer. Latimer now at the nose for the Broncos, number 72. Alvin Moore's in the backfield, number 23 for Baltimore. Randy McMillan, penalty marker goes down. McMillan gets over the 35. at the 37-yard line. Rulon Jones, big number 75, made the play. Initial call holding against the Colts.
Well, the Colts offensive line was rebuilt at the beginning of the year. They became very solid. Jim Mills and Hart, and Donaldson, Hinton, Baldischweiler. Here, we'll listen to the call right here.
53, holding.
That's on Ray Donaldson, and
down.
probably one of the real quality offensive centers in the game. They've had injuries to that offensive line. They've had to make some changes again this afternoon. So it's going to be you have to rely, when you run the ball so much, you rely on that offensive line, and it's a tough thing for Baltimore having to make the changes they've had to make there.
Extra wide receiver in the game. Otis, Porter, and Henry are all in there. And Pagel throws just over the outstretched fingertips of Porter, number 87. Washington and Dallas in that big one down in Big D, and the Redskins score first. John Riggins, a 3-yard run. 10:43 of the first period. Washington leads Dallas 7-0. Here it's scoreless in the first period. 7:46 to play. Last week versus the Jets, Pagel. 2 interceptions hurt. But Baltimore had many opportunities to win that game. Denver's in the prevent defense. And Pagel rolls. Throws on the run, and it is complete down at the 40-yard line to Porter. And Porter is all the way to the 31-yard line. First down for Baltimore. But there's another penalty flag, and it's back downfield at the 23-yard line.
Jay, you know what I think happened was when Pagel rolled out, he was across the line of scrimmage before he threw the ball.
It was close, and I think that may be the call. They're showing that area right there. Looked like he might have been a yard over the line.
Well, that's exactly what happened to him last week against the New York Jets when they had the big play toward the end of the game.
Pagel started the day with 10 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 145 completions out of 288
Illegal
attempts.
forward pass. Number 18 threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Lost it down. 4th down.
That's what happens, Jay, when you're so fast. You get out there sooner than you think you're supposed to.
So Stark will come on to punt for the second time. And Zach Thomas is downfield. There is Pagel. Stark played at Florida State, now in his second season. A low squib kick coming up quickly. Thomas, he's at the 50, and he was met by number 29 of the Colts, Mark Kafensis, and it's a good thing he was, or he might have gotten a lot more. Only a 37-yard punt. Denver's going to have very good field position. We have 7 minutes, 25 seconds left to play. First period. No score here in Denver. Frank Cush, a man who was an All-American defensive guard at 175 pounds. He was a tremendous player at Michigan State, 22 years at Arizona State. From the 49-yard line of the Colts, Denver first down. Elway rolling, looking, throwing, and complete. Fine catch by John Sawyer. And then he lost the football, and we will wait and see. Colts are going to get it. Well, he made a fine play, but then coughed it up. It was a tough catch, and he never apparently really could get himself squared away. Barry Krause, number 55, was the man who picked off the fumble. Well, the ball will be at the 34-yard line. First turnover of the game.
We're going to see John Elway rolling out here. You know, the thing from here, it looks like John's putting a little too much steam on the ball. It made it a tough catch for Sawyer there. He's got to learn as he rolls out and a receiver is running towards him or running with him to take a little bit of heat off the ball and give him a little better chance to hang on to it.
Pagel is throwing, and it's almost intercepted. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, cut in front of Pat Beach and almost picked it off. There's Smith out of USC, 4 interceptions already this year, and they like to bring him on the safety blitz. He has 5 sacks.
And you know what we're going to see from him today a little bit is he's going to be playing up on the tight end in tight coverage, which you don't see a strong safety do a lot. He says his knee's bad. It's been hurting him a little bit. It's easier for him to do that up in tight coverage, but also from there they can bring him on the blitz much easier.
Alvin Moore, 23. Randy McMillan, 32 in the backfield. Second down and 10. Porter going in motion, and they pitch it off to Moore. He goes the other way, and they string it out. And they don't get much, a yard or two at most. Rulon Jones, number 75, right there, and Randy Gradishar, also number 53, in to help out. Jones is quite a performer out of Utah State. He's been playing very well, a number 2 draft choice.
We're taking a look at what Denver has done so well for so long, and they have such an active defense. The contained man was Harden there, number 31. He forces the play inside where Rulon Jones and Gradishar finish him off.
Third down and 9. Denver in a prevent defense, and Pagel rolling to the near sideline, throwing back against the grain. It is complete, and it looks like a first down to number 87, Tracy Porter. It's going to be close. Mike Harden, the cornerback, made the tackle. Porter making his 25th catch of the season. It is a first down. Ball just over the 45-yard line. No score here at Mile High Stadium.
Pagel's been rolling out a lot. What it does is it buys him a little extra time. We'll see him set up here as a kind of a half roll, reads the defense well, and hits Porter right in the middle zone.
Again, it's Porter coming in motion to the near side. They pitch it back to Moore. Moore gets a couple over the 50 and down to the 48-yard line. He did most of that on his own. Got a pretty good block out in front. Number 68, Jeff Hart. Pickup of about 5. Moore with a 3.6 average coming into today's game. And the Colts have it in Denver territory at the 48-yard line with 5:16 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Earlier when they played in Baltimore, September the 11th, Denver won 17-10. A touchdown run by Steve DeBerg with 29 seconds left. Won that game for Denver. Up the middle, McMillan. McMillan gets to the 46-yard line. Stop made by Gradishar once again. Last Sunday, the Broncos 27-6 winners here over Cleveland. It was Elway's finest day, 16 of 24 for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Colts, as we mentioned, lost a toughie 10-6 to the Jets. It was a defensive struggle. Raul Alegre handled the scoring with 2 field goals. Newton Williams and Alvin Moore in the backfield. The handoff goes to Moore. And Moore has the first down at the 42-yard line. Alvin Moore, who played at Arizona State. A lot of Arizona State young people on this football team of Frank Kush. Kush was there for 22 years.
Baltimore's offensive line really has something to prove today, I think, Jay. They were pretty much manhandled last week by the New York Jets. I feel they're potentially a pretty good unit. Like I said, they've had some injuries, so they would like to have a good game this afternoon.
Well, they're a team that has not quit at any time this season. Pagel in trouble, freelancing now. And Pagel on the run, steps out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Barney Chavis was chasing him. Good coverage that time in the secondary for the Denver Broncos.
Well, Denver's defensive coordinator, Joe Collier, really figures out a team pretty well before they play him. He's one of the great defensive coordinators in the game. What they tried to do there was hit a little slant pattern. Denver's defensive backs came up, shut it off. Pagel tried to improvise and find somebody downfield. When he does that, it's important for the receivers to come back toward him no matter where they are, to give him a target to throw at.
McMillan 32 and Moore 23 in the backfield. Second down and 5. Little trouble on the handoff. Moore holds on and goes down to the 25-yard line. An excellent job by Alvin Moore. Moore was met by the strong safety Dennis Smith. Moore had a little trouble on the handoff from Pagel. He finally cradled that ball, made an excellent move here.
We're going to see him here. A lot of people wonder why you're not seeing Dickey in there. Well, this is one of the reasons. Moore can do a very adequate job. He's come on strong these last few weeks. He's played much more as the season has progressed.
First down at the 25-yard line. A handoff to McMillan, and on his own, he gets inside the 20. He got by Barney Chavis and was brought down by Busick, number 58, and Steve Foley, number 43.
Well, Baltimore has come off. They're fired up. They're coming off the ball. The running backs are breaking tackles. They're doing a lot of things with extra effort on their own. Denver kind of has to regroup, get together a little bit here. They're missing too many tackles, and they're too fine a defense to be able to not come up with the big plays when they need them down here.
Second down and 4. Sherwin is in at tight end now, and the pitch comes back to Dickey. He's in a lot of trouble. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Busick and Foley, 58 and 43, are there to make the tackle. At Dallas, Joe Theismann to Clint Didier. A 40-yard touchdown pass, and still in the first period, it is Washington 14 and Dallas nothing.
Baltimore's been much more effective, it appears, so far, running with the quick hitting plays up the middle. When they try to go to the outside, even with the speed that Dickey has, Denver's strength is the way they pursue, and they've been able to stop them when they've gone outside.
Third down and 4. Penalty markers down. Pagel throws it away, and there are 4 penalty markers down. Pass was intended down the right side for Tracy Porter, but the penalty will now be discussed and marched off. Our referee is Fred Silva. Well, they're going to
offense, number 75. Ball start. Third down.
Ball at the 24-yard line. There's a man who threw some passes in his day, Zeke Burkowski, with Frank Kush. Now it's 3rd and 9. Pagel's rolling. They're running for him. He throws back. It's intercepted and then dropped. Oh! Dennis Smith had it. Almost came up with his 5th interception of the year. I thought he had. I'll tell you, Porter did a good job. He kept battling him in there, and that was why Smith couldn't hold on.
We're going to see him roll out here. One of the toughest things to do is roll out one direction and throw back the other. You lose sight of where the defensive players are. Tracy Porter there had to become a defensive back in that situation and did a good job keeping Dennis Smith from making the interception.
The rookie from Texas, Raul Alegre, 91 points on the year. He's tied a club record with 24 field goals. Ties Jim Martin's record set in '63. Ron Stark to hold. High pass from the 32. A 42-yard field goal is good. Raul Alegre, having a marvelous season, has put the Baltimore Colts on top. 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go in the first period. And the Colts lead the Broncos as you look again at Raul Alegre. Cinderella, Miami in the Orange Bowl. The return up the far sideline by Zach Thomas just over the 20-yard line. Thomas was met on the play by number 54, Sanders Shiver.
You know, we're looking at what is interesting today about this game, 2 very contrasting situations here, Jay.
I'm going to show you this return up the sideline.
As we're doing that, you know, you look at Baltimore, they're somewhat of an uptight team. Cush was very upset last week at the levity they showed on the sidelines. He said they weren't taking the game seriously enough. On the other side of the field, you have Denver, who felt that what was responsible for their victory last week was the fact that they loosened up and they were having more fun and they were enjoying what they were doing. So it's 2 different, very different approaches we're looking at this afternoon.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. 1:11 left to play in the first quarter. And Elway giving it off. That's Sam Winder. Sammy from Southern Mississippi. Now, they must run the ball a lot with him to be successful along the ground.
They really want to try and establish the run. They want to keep their defense off the field as much as possible, keep them fresh, because they really feel they rely so heavily on their defense.
Seattle beat the Giants this afternoon 17-12. New Orleans over Philadelphia in overtime. Credit Barry Krause with that last tackle. It is 2nd down and 9. Washington an early lead at Dallas. That's Watson coming in motion. Elway throws out into the flat to Sampson, and Sampson gets back up over the 25-yard line. Barry Krause, number 55, make the tackle. Sampson started the day with 6 receptions, 161 yards. Rick Upchurch is out of the lineup. An injury to him, of course.
Baltimore has played a pretty conservative defense throughout the year. They've blitzed when they have. They've 85% of the time usually go with Vernon Maxwell. I think what we're going to see today, though, is we're going to see him take a few more chances. They're going to blitz strong side as well as weak with all their linebackers. Try and put some pressure on Elway.
So we come to the end of the first quarter here at Mile High Stadium. The Colts have a 3-0 lead over the Broncos. Well, Mr. Chandler, I think by taking a quick look at those stats, we could say the Colts have dominated things here.
They really have. You know, they've just been hurt with the penalties they had on those 2 big plays. That kind of thing has hurt them all year. It's the kind of thing that they haven't been able to come back from. They've dominated the time of possession, and they've moved the ball fairly well against Denver so far in that first quarter.
3rd down and 4 from the 26-yard line. John Elway at the controls, trying to get the Broncos untracked. Elway throws. It is complete. Short of the first down, right at the 30-yard line. The catch is made by number 34, Nathan Poole. And right on him was Cliff Odom, the linebacker.
We'll take a look at it here. Cliff Odom, who took over for Johnny Cooks as a starter, they both play a lot. Covered Nathan Poole real well there and kept him from getting the first down.
Luke Prestridge will come on to do the punting. Prestridge, who led the National Football League in '82 with a 45-yard average, punting to Larry Anderson. There's Prestridge.
Denver kind of looks like they're feeling things out a little bit. They haven't really got on track offensively or defensively. We're kind of expecting them to do something here before long.
Larry Anderson comes up at the 29, steps across the 30, and is going the wrong way. He's got a lot of orange around him. Boy, oh boy. A 41-yard punt. And leading the way for the Denver Broncos, Dave Preston, number 46, and number 59, Darren Cumio. Timeout here. Dan Reeves, the 9th head coach in Denver's football history. He was a quarterback in the early 60s at South Carolina. Played, of course, for the Dallas Cowboys. Assistant coach under Tom Landry. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line for the Colts. They're leading 3-0. Pitch back comes to Alvin Moore. Moore getting near the 30, across the 30 at the 31. Dennis Smith, number 49, made the play. It is Mike Pagel at quarterback. Pagel has been intercepted once every 19 passes this season. 15 interceptions and 288 passes. There's that Washington-Dallas score again. John Elway's been intercepted once every 18 passes. Rams leading. San Diego on top of Kansas City, and the Raiders doing it to St. Louis. And this ball was batted along the line of scrimmage. Looked like it was intended for Bernard Henry, number 88. And number 72, Don Latimer, appeared to get a hand up and batted away. You mentioned, Bob, that the Broncos seem to be a bit lethargic after that, or in that first period. They're trying, I think, the defense right now to get things fired up a little bit, make some things happen.
And we're going to see
Latimer.
There's Latimer batting the ball. You know what Pagel did? He had a play action, but he didn't really get back. He at least got to get 3 yards back. He faked the play action and was right up on the line of scrimmage, which made Latimer's job much easier there, deflecting that ball.
Hickey and McMillan are in the backfield. 3rd and 6 from the 32-yard line. McMillan to the outside at the 40. Penalty marker goes down. McMillan is all the way down to the Denver 45, but they may bring it back. And now a little battle on the field. Tom Jackson is into it with Chris Hinton. They're separated very quickly.
Jay, we're talking about Denver being lethargic. That's the kind of thing they need. Tom Jackson knows it when they're lethargic. He's their inspirational player. A little skirmish like that with Hinton is the kind of thing that might fire up a team like Denver.
And of course, Hinton, number 75 of the Baltimore Colts, was the 4th player in the draft involved in the Elway deal, an All-American at Northwestern.
Offense. Holding. Third down.
I'm sure Gradishar knew that when he picked him out to throw a couple punches there. I mean, excuse me, Tom Jackson.
A holding call puts the ball back at the 27-yard line. Dickey and McMillan in the backfield, 3rd and 11 from the 27. Pagel over the middle, and it is complete. That's Bernard Henry. Henry's all the way to the 44-yard line, and a first down for the Baltimore Colts. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, made the tackle, and Pagel really put that ball on target.
We're going to see that same half roll by Pagel, and he's throwing back across the field. Bernard Henry runs an in at about 20 yards, beats Mike Harden, runs a real good route, makes the catch, and picks up the first down.
Hinton now has gone out of the lineup for the Colts, and Ben Utt, number 64, comes into play left guard. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. 12:26 to go in the first half. Colts leading 3-0. Newton Williams, number 39, in the backfield with Moore, and he got near the 40-yard line. And underneath the pile, number 75, Rulon Jones, Randy Gradishar, and 65, Walt Boyer. Boyer's now playing the left end position for Chavis. He's number 65. 2nd down and 7. The Colts are leading on a 42-yard field goal by Raul Alegre, his 25th of the season. Problem on the handoff to Newton Williams, and he got only a yard as Jim Ryan, the linebacker, number 50, wrapped him up. That field goal by Raul Alegre set the new club record for the Colts, 25. 3-0 Baltimore. Look at Frank Cush, the head man of the Colts. Pagel comes the other way, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted, almost picked off by Louis Wright. Oh boy, Louis, I know felt he should have had that one, and I guess he should have.
I think that surprised Louis. It's actually a real good throw here by Pagel. He hits Sherwin coming across the middle. They're throwing back across the grain a lot so far. Hits him right in the chest. Tries to make a chest catch rather than grab it in the hands, which is tough to do sometimes. It's always better if you're not in traffic to try and catch the ball in your hands. He dropped it there, and Louis Wright almost came up with the interception.
Alegre is going to try a 56-yard field goal. Raul Alegre from 56 yards out, and it is good. Made it with no problem. 56-yarder, and that is the longest of his career. Earlier, he had kicked 2 of 52 yards.
Yeah, he made that one with 10 yards to spare.
Isn't he something? Raul Alegre from Texas. We'll watch again with Ron Stark holding here in Denver with 10:55 to play in the first half. The Colts lead it 6-0. Danny White to Doug Cosby. Washington 14, Dallas 7. There in the final minute of the first period. Here it is 6-0 the Colts. Alegre kicks off, and in the end zone it'll be down by Zach Thomas, and Denver will take it at their own 20-yard line. The Bronco fans, a sellout crowd of more than 75,000, starting to cheer the offense on here and get them going a little bit.
That's exactly what they have to do, Jay, is get going. You know, I look for John Elway to start testing that suspect, at least it's been suspect, Baltimore secondary. They played very well last week, led by Tate Randall, but they still are a weak spot in that defense, and we look for them to start getting the ball downfield a little bit.
That's Sampson going in motion. Pitch back coming to Winder, and there's nothing there. They strung it out very nicely, and Greg Braceland, 52, the linebacker, making the play, and the folks here a little critical of the play calling. Braceland, who made the play, was originally a Denver number 8 draft pick back in 1980. Loss back to the 14-yard line, or the 17-yard line, excuse me. I was right the first time. It's all the way back to the 14-yard line. Elway straight back, sets up, in trouble, and down he goes, and now a penalty marker is down also. Cliff Odom, number 49, flying in there to make the play back inside the 2-yard line. But a penalty marker is down, and we'll wait to see what referee Fred Silva sorts out here.
Offense, number 70. Holding, decline, 3rd down.
Dave Studdard charged for holding. It was declined. He originally was with Baltimore, a free agent who came over with the Denver Broncos. Dave Studdard out of Texas. Now back at tackle. 3rd down, 28 from the 2. Got to be careful down here. 7 defensive backs. Elway out of the shotgun. Elway on the run at the 5 to the 10 and out of bounds. Nesby Glasgow ran him out. But Luke Prestridge will have to come in to do the punting, as Elway's offense has lacked the spark that it had a week ago.
Baltimore's been pretty impressive so far on defense. They're playing that kind of pressure defense that is so needed. They're trying to attack the pocket and get to Elway. They're bringing more linebackers than they have in the past. They're not playing that kind of conservative, predictable defense that they have so often this year.
Prestridge to punt to Larry Anderson. Broncos don't have a first down yet. The kick is away, and it is a dandy. All the way back at the 35, Anderson. Got away from one man, looking for help. Down he goes at the 38-yard line. Fine play by Dave Preston, number 46. 53-yard punt. And a good hang time. But the Colts leading 6-0 with 9:44 left in this first half. Will have the ball at the 38-yard line. We'll be back with more NFL action in just a moment.
Televideo personal computers equip the professional for success. Because Televideo's innovative design produces powerful, sensibly priced computers that communicate with one another and grow as rapidly as you do. Televideo, personal computers that equip you to attain that most coveted objective, a business boom. Televideo, personal computers. Get in on the boom.
Four-wheel and off-road magazine calls the Mitsubishi 4x4 Turbo Diesel a Turbo Diesel rocket ship. It's high performance at a down-to-earth price. The two-wheel drive Mighty Max is another rugged reason. Mini Truck magazine calls the Mitsubishi truck lineup nothing short of magnificent. The price on the value-packed Mighty Max is only $57.49. Let your Mitsubishi Motors dealer take you where you've never been before.
Here at Mile High Stadium, the Colts have the lead 6-0, Mr. Chandler.
Well, it's about time for Denver to get on track, Jay. Like you said, they haven't even had a first down so far today, so we expect them to do something here before long.
Right now, they'll try to stop the Colts. who have a real weapon in Raul Alegre. Pagel, play action on first down, throws wide open at the 45-yard line is Bernard Henry. And he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And the Colts look extremely sharp here.
Play action is so effective for Baltimore because they run the ball so much. We'll see it here. It gives them ties up those linebackers, makes them respect the run. Came out here, Bernard Henry ran an excellent out pattern, had Mike Harden turned around, made the first down.
Going wide to the right is Porter. Henry goes to the left side. Pagel calls on Dickey. And he loses a couple. Fine play by Dennis Smith, the strong safety. He came up to make the play. A loss of 2 yards on the play. 9:20 to go in this first half. Chris Hinton is back at the left guard spot. It's Hart, Hinton, Donaldson, Wright, and Mason up front. Then Porter wide to the right, Henry set to the left side. Second down and 12. Pagel throwing and completing. Bernard Henry again. Looks like he might have enough for the first down.
We'll take a look at his route here. Just a simple out pattern. Nothing real fancy about it, but what that does, after you've run those a few times in front of a defensive back like Harden or any defensive back, it helps set something up for later in the game, whether it's an out and up, a hook and go. It helps develop your other patterns.
Alvin Moore and Newton Williams are in the backfield. It is a first down at the 32. Moore gets a couple. Busick, Jones, and Gradishar are all there. Number 79, Chavis, back in at left end. Colts with 8 first downs, the Broncos with none. Baltimore leading 6-0 on field goals of 42 and officially 55 yards on that second field goal by Raul Alegre. Pagel swinging it out and a bad throw. The throw came up short of Alvin Moore, and there's a penalty marker down. Pagel, the Colt record we indicated for rushing. He had 382 yards coming into today's game. This penalty will go against Baltimore. Pagel's a very intelligent young man. He has had some trouble reading defenses, but that's not uncommon for young quarterbacks in the National Football League. I imagine Mr. Elway's had his share too. Ball placed at the 40-yard line.
Number 39, holding, second down.
Newton Williams holding on the play. See Zeke Bartkowski there. He signals in the plays to Pagel. 2nd and 18 from the 40. And it is incomplete. At the 29-yard line, the pass intended for Tracy Porter. And he was out of bounds. They got Porter in a trade from Detroit back in August. Gave up a future draft choice for him. Porter, number 87 there, was a Detroit number 4 pick out of LSU. Third down conversion situation. Colts 4 out of 8. They're facing 3rd and 18. Pagel throws in the middle, and it is complete down to the 25-yard line, short of the first down to Bernard Henry. Henry was hit by Mike Harden. It is not enough for the first down, but it is time once again for Raul Alegre. Alegre now has kicked 26 of 30 field goals.
Jay, I think it's time for Raul anytime they cross the midfield stripe here in Denver.
Ball will be placed at the 32, a 42-yarder. He's kicked a 42-yarder and a 55-yarder already. Ron Stark holds. The kick is up, and it is good. And Raul Alegre does it again. A jumping jack from the University of Texas. 7 minutes and 23 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. And the Baltimore Colts have taken a 9-0 lead over the Denver Broncos here at Mile High Stadium.
Imports with a purpose. Colt for '84. A great buy. Imported for Dodge and Plymouth with front-wheel drive. Room for 5. Money-saving mileage and miles of driving fun. Thinking GLC, Civic, Sentra, or Tercel? Think Colt, too. And check out its really low sticker price. The '84 Colt, imported for Dodge and Plymouth. Built by Mitsubishi to give you a phenomenal import value.
Now that's a purpose.
Len Berman in New York, and the NFL has just determined that should Denver win this game today, they are in the playoffs. And should Seattle win next week, Denver would be at Seattle in the wild card game December 24th. So important meaning for this game in Denver. Let's go back to Jay and Bob.
All right, Len Berman, indeed an important game, but at the moment the Colts lead at 9-0, and the natives a little restless here as Alegre kicks. And the ball is down back there by Steve Wilson in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, and once again, the Broncos will try to get something going. They do not have a first down in this first half. Elway is 3 for 5 for 22 yards. They haven't been able to do much running with Winder, establish anything on the ground, and Elway has been a little flighty with his throwing, been a little high on occasion.
Well, you know, you've got to give Baltimore some credit there. They've been pressuring him all through the first and part of this second quarter. They've been able to do that, still covering up downfield, but putting a lot of pressure on Elway.
Elway straight back this time, has time, throws, and it is incomplete. He was going for Clint Sampson, the rookie from San Diego State. Excellent coverage by Burrows, the cornerback, number 45. Burrows has been improving. He's in his second year out of Michigan State.
It's not a bad throw here. Once again, it's a little bit high. Sampson was well covered. They had Watson clearing out the middle, taking it deep. You should never throw over the middle, send a receiver over the middle without somebody clearing it out. Watson did that job, but they couldn't connect with Sampson.
This Baltimore defense playing very tough here in the first half. Second down and 10. Single setback. Winder. And timeout is called as Elway took a look. Didn't like what he saw. Is going to come over and talk it over. While he does, we'll take timeout for these messages.
There's something special happening at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fresh buttermilk biscuits made from scratch. Our chicken and biscuits a perfect match. Light and fluffy, they're made from scratch.
We start with real buttermilk, and we make them fresh all through the day. Fresh, like our chicken, because that's the Colonel's way.
Fresh buttermilk biscuits made from scratch. Our chicken and biscuits a perfect match. One more way, we do chicken right.
Introducing the longest rust-through protection truck warranty in America. 5 years or 100,000 miles.
We are Dodge, and this is how we back our trucks.
At no extra cost on all new '84 full-size pickups and Ram Chargers. Plus, cash back from Dodge. $500 on 250 and 350 pickups, and $400 on Ram Chargers. At Dodge, we don't just talk quality, we prove it.
We are Dodge. Dodge trucks are Ram trucks.
Come celebrate the new year with the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Can the Bruins of UCLA defend the Rose Bowl championship against the Big Ten champs, the tough fighting Illini of Illinois? What a battle, January 2nd on NBC Sports. As we look at the two coaches, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is Colorado's news channel, Channel 4, KCNC, Denver.
Frank Cush and Dan Reeves, and 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line for John Elway. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes coming into today's game. This throw is high and wide of the intended receiver, Clint Sampson. Randall had the coverage, and Bobby didn't look like he took enough drop there to get comfortable to throw that football.
It's a quick hitting route, Jay, but it's still a 3-step drop by the quarterback. And even though it's a timing route and it's a quick route, paramount for the quarterback is to set up and get his feet planted. He didn't do that there. He tried to rush it a little bit. Sampson was open. John has to be a little bit more patient and let things develop before he lets go of the ball.
3rd down and 10 from the 20-yard line, and Elway coming out of the shotgun this time. And this one is batted away on a fine play by Nesby Glasgow. The pass was intended for Zach Thomas. It was really winged in there, but Glasgow made an excellent play. This Colt defense has just done a dandy job so far.
There's no doubt that John Elway has a potential for greatness. We've seen him. They're going to expect a lot of him after his excellent performance last week, but he's going to have his ups and downs. He's probably weathered some of the toughest part of his career with his rocky start. And what he needs today is to back up last week with another solid performance. He's having a tough time getting started this afternoon.
Luke Prestridge to punt. Anderson is downfield, a bad kick. And it is picked up at the 45, returned to the 49-yard line. Well, Anderson had more nerve than most men. He just stepped up and took that ball. A 35-yard punt. And the play made by Keith Bishop, number 54 of the Denver Broncos. We take a timeout. The Colts lead 9-0.
Look at me. Do you like what you see? Good. Because it's not me. It's a recording of me on Memorex videotape. This remarkable tape has been recorded and re-recorded 100 times. But I bet you still couldn't tell if it was Memorex or me, which really isn't me. It's Memorex. Memorex videotape. Even after 100 recordings, you'll wonder, is it live or is it Memorex?
East Point, Maine and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. East Point means a New England clam bake, summer fun and food at its best. And Milwaukee means beer, cold, crisp, old Milwaukee beer, and smooth, golden, old Milwaukee Light.
And old Milwaukee.
And old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
With Bob Chandler, this is Jay Randolph at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. The altitude hasn't bothered the Colts up to now. Certainly not Raul Allegre. They're almost in field goal range again, aren't they?
About 5 more yards and he'll have a shot at it.
9-0 Baltimore. Pagel using a long count. Little counter play. Handoff going to Dickey. And Dickey's inside the 45. This offensive line's doing a good job today. They gained to the 44-yard line. Number 75, Rulon Jones, was there, along with Steve Busick, number 58.
Denver's had, we'll take a look at it again here. Denver's had all year, the teams have moved the ball well down the field on them. It's kind of that bend but don't break defensive philosophy, but when they get down near the goal line, they've been able to stop them. But they haven't faced a kicker like Raul Allegre so far this year, I don't think.
Wilson, 45, now playing the right corner spot for Harden. This is Dickey going the other way, gets to the outside, has a first down and more, and he's out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Dickey's quickness to the outside showing very, very well. Good blocking. Lewis Wright ran him out of bounds over there, number 20.
We're going to take a look at it here. Watch number 32, McMillan, just leaving the left part of your screen. We're not probably, it doesn't look like we're there right at the end of it. He puts a block on Gradishar. It's amazing to me how effective he is and what a hard worker he is at trying to block for Dickey and then turn around and have to carry the ball himself. That's a tremendous physical effort on his part.
First down. Pagel may have called an audible again using a long count, and it jumped off. He did that a moment ago with some success when they ran the counter play. Looked like Hinton jumped off first. You know, you're talking about Randy McMillan, number 32. Say a word about him in just a moment.
And number 75. Ball start. First down.
The call going against Chris Hinton. Randy McMillan, born in the community of Harvey DeGraw, Maryland, not far from Baltimore. I remember it well because they used to have a racetrack there.
You never went there, did you?
Harvey DeGraw. Or Grace, depending on your point of view, if you're a Baltimorean. Pagel on the run and throws incomplete. Tried to get it to Pat Beach, and he was looking right into the sun, couldn't handle it. Let's go to New York, NFL 83.
Thank you, Jay Randolph. Checking out the action in San Diego. Here come the Kansas City Chiefs. Bill Kenny at quarterback. 10-yard pass to Stephon Page. It's now 17-14, San Diego. Back to you, Jay.
All right, thank you, Len. Boy, the San Diego club has been a mystery this year. The injuries, of course. That one big injury that hurt them so bad to Fouts, but they have been a tough club to figure out. Second down and 15 at the 40. Alvin Moore coming in motion. Pagel throwing long, and it is caught for a touchdown. Bernard Henry. Pagel and Henry hook up. And look at Zeke Bartkowski. Is he happy? Are the Colts happy? And are they stunned here in Denver? 75,000 sitting here rather quietly at the moment.
I don't think I've ever heard it so quiet. Denver brought a blitz. They brought Dennis Smith. They brought two of their linebackers. Ended up with Bernard Henry running one-on-one on Wilson. Ran a corner route. It was an excellent throw by Pagel. He read the blitz, got rid of the ball quickly for the big touchdown.
That's the longest of his career in the touchdown category. Raul Allegre bangs it through. And we have 5 minutes and 55 seconds left to play in the first half. The Baltimore Colts have a 16-0 lead over the Broncos. Let's remind you, next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time, NFL 83 kicks off. Len Berman, final regular season weekend. And then we'll go to the Metrodome for the battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. That's next Saturday right here on NBC Sports. And while we're talking about upcoming events, don't forget January 2nd. First the Fiesta, then the Rose, and then the Orange Bowl. What a day that will be for the football fans of America. NBC Sports with those three great bowl attractions. Frank Cush, here's a man who has worked very hard. He's a serious-minded man about the game of football. I like to say he knows how to weed out the hitters from the quitters, and that's what he's been doing. And he's gotten their attention, I'll tell you.
He's called this gut check time, Jay. You know, he still feels they have a lot to prove, and he wants to keep improving these last two games. He's still filling this roster up. He doesn't want to make too many changes next year, but he wants his kind of players making up that Baltimore Colt roster, and he's still looking for a few replacements.
His club is shutting out the Broncos here in the first half, 16-0. Allegre. Another one into the end zone, and it's down there by number 82, Zach Thomas. First down for the Broncos. There you see the time, 58 seconds. They went 50 yards in 4 plays. The Broncos have to be careful that they don't get too far away from their game plan. They could really get in trouble. Yet they got to do something to get this offense untracked. play straight back. He swings it out to Winder. Winder's over the 25 out to the 30. First down. That's the first down of this game. I might mention at this point in the proceedings, with the score 16-0, that the Broncos have never been shut out here in Denver. Let's look again at a very fine run by Winder after he got the football.
And now's the important time for Denver to do something at the end of this first half so they go in with a little momentum. It means so much to them before they come out and start that second half.
Again, it's out to Winder. And he's out to the 38-yard line. That looked like the same play, except the Colts were blitzing. Good block by Paul Howard over there, number 60, the right guard. Tackle made by Wisniewski, 69, and Parker, 78. A lot of time left in this first half. Clock running with 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. The Colts are leading at 16-0. Second down and 2. Coach Dan Reeves. Gerald Wilhite is in the backfield now. Number 47. That's Wilhite. And very close to the first down. Looks like he's got it. Cliff Odom, number 49 on the tackle. Limping off is Wilhite. Looked like he hurt his right leg, or it could be a hamstring pull. So the Broncos have something going. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Winder and Poole in the backfield. That is Winder, the single setback. Egloff, the tight end, going in motion. Long throw downfield, and it is caught! Watson makes a marvelous catch at the 12. There is a penalty marker down. Penalties against Baltimore. First down, Denver.
I don't think I've seen a receiver make as tough a catches in traffic as Watson has made over the last few years. This is his second year that he's gone over 1,000 yards in his 3 years as a starter. Doesn't have great speed, but when he gets going, his long stride, he can run with anybody. Makes an over-the-head catch of a perfectly thrown ball and hangs on to it. That's what Denver needed here to get him going before this first half ends.
46-yard play. First down at the 12. 3 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the first half.
Defense, number 99, illegal use of the hands prior to the pass. Decline, first down.
The call went against Donnell Thompson of the Colts. It was declined. And this big crowd finally had something to cheer about as we look again at a marvelous reception by Steve Watson, who played at Temple.
After Steve's first big year a couple years ago, people in the league said it was a lucky year. This guy can't be that good. He's been that good every game since then.
He was honored as the Broncos Man of the Year here today. The handoff to Winder. Winder to the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Now they're roaring on every play here. Tackle made by Nesby Glasgow.
We're getting a little cutback here. He bounces off his old man. He saw a hole there that didn't look like there was a hole. Bounced off a couple of Baltimore people. Picked up some good yardage on his own.
Paul Howard, number 60, again doing an excellent job. Second down. 3 for the touchdown, about 2 for a first down. Fumble. Big pile up, and the Colts have it at the 2-yard line. The Colts come away with it. So when the Broncos were knocking at the door, they cough it up. Second turnover charged to Denver. Oh, the problem was with... Was that Tom Glassick?
It was Glassick.
It was Glassick pulling out, ran into his quarterback, and knocked the ball away.
I don't think John ever got a good handle on it from the center, so it slowed down his backing away from the line of scrimmage. Glassick was pulling. They ran into each other, and John lost the ball.
Both teams playing with a lot of emotion now. Stopped at the 3-yard line is Randy McMillan. Steve Foley came up to crack him down. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the first half. Colts have 3 timeouts left. The Broncos have 2. You'll remember that Elway called a timeout when he didn't like what he saw on one occasion. And they're going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute mark. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 after we get the 2-minute break. Well, the Denver Broncos, missing a golden opportunity to score, find themselves down 16-0 here late in the first half on a glorious day in Denver, Colorado. We'll be back to the capital city as the Colts lead it 16-0.
Hi, I'm Billy Joe Dupree of the Dallas Cowboys. I've just learned some important facts about high blood pressure from the American Heart Association.
And what's that, Billy Joe?
Millions of Americans suffer from high blood pressure and don't even know it.
Do you know why?
No, why?
Because usually there are no obvious symptoms, so they have no idea it could lead to severe heart problems.
You mean like stroke or heart attack?
Right.
That sounds serious.
Exactly. And that's why more people need to know what to do.
What's that?
Take this simple, painless test to find out if you have high blood pressure.
What if I do?
You see your doctor immediately for advice on how to control it.
Control it? Then there's no cure.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
How'd that do?
You passed, but remember...
I know. Keep it checked.
That's exactly what we wanted to hear you say. For more information, contact your American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service for the National Football League. Here's Watson making that fine catch a few moments ago. This got them in great shape, Bob Chandler.
It was a great catch by Watson. Ended up going for naught. They fumbled a couple plays later. Now Baltimore has the ball deep down in their territory.
2nd down and 8 from the 4. From the I formation. The give goes to Curtis Dickey, and he is stopped inside the 1-yard line. Steve Busick, 58. Dennis Smith, 49, leading the way. Timeout, Denver. 1:51 remaining to be played. The Broncos could get this football back in pretty good shape. Coming up at halftime, NFL 83. We've been bringing you up to date on all the happenings on this 15th weekend of play in the NFL. 1:51 left.
That looked close to being a safety there, Jay.
It was close indeed. Let's remind you, too, that next Saturday night, got a basketball special for you at 11:30 Eastern Time. The Memphis State Tigers, their All-American Keith Lee. They go up against the UCLA Bruins live from Pauley Pavilion. So stay with NBC, of course, next Saturday night and throughout the season for the best in college basketball.
Well, it's hard to see whether they really get him there. You can see that his progress brought him outside of the goal line, and so that's where they marked the ball before they dropped him back behind. Denver's putting everybody up on the line of scrimmage. They're really pressuring them with their defense because they're kind of daring Baltimore to throw during this time.
Septian has kicked a 35-yard field goal, and Dallas has crept back within 4 points of Washington late in the second period. John Elway, 3 out of 8, 22 yards. The big throw a few moments ago, of course, that got them in excellent shape before they fumbled it up was to Steve Watson. Now, here is 3rd down, ball just inside the 1. Quarterback sneak by Pagel, gets it out to the 3. A timeout will be called with 1:46 remaining. Now that's the last time out for the Broncos.
We can expect to see their 2-minute offense when they come back out on the field. What they've done on the sidelines, Elway probably picked up 2 or 3 plays that they want to go with. He'll get in the huddle. He'll give them 2 plays, possibly 3. Usually they do just 2. They won't huddle. They'll try and get down and get something on the scoreboard before this first half ends.
They missed a golden opportunity to score moments ago when Glassick ran into the quarterback. Zach Thomas will be the man to return the punt. Ron Stark will be the man to punt the ball for the Baltimore Colts. Stark and Allegre have really done a marvelous job for the Colts.
Well, those are both 2 guys that wouldn't surprise anybody to see them in the Pro Bowl. They both had those kind of years. Stark going into this game was leading the National Football League with a 45.5 average. A great athlete, not just a kicker, was a decathlon man in school. They say he can do a lot of different things.
Right now, he's got to get it away quickly. Backed up on the end line. Zach Thomas downfield. And he booms it out of there. It's a dandy. Thomas all the way back to the 30. Turns and comes upfield at the 40. At the 45. Gets to the 49-yard line. And Denver has a minute and a half to operate. A 64-yard punt when he needed it. Stark really came through. Ricky Jones for Baltimore made the tackle. Excellent form for this gentleman right here.
Well, it's a great kick when they needed it. The extension on the leg that he has is tremendous. The flexibility and the strength that some of these kickers have in the league nowadays is amazing.
Will Hyde 47 and Preston 46 are in the lineup. Elway's going to operate from the shotgun. They're out of timeouts. Elway over the middle, batted by number 56. Vernon Maxwell, the linebacker, just got a hand on it.
Trying to go to Dave Preston there. Vernon Maxwell made a great play. Preston was open.
Some scores. New England and the Rams 7-7. San Diego leads Kansas City. And the Cardinals have come back against the Raiders. We'll bring you up to date at halftime on all the activity. They're calling Stark's punt a moment ago. A 68-yarder, the longest of his career. 2nd and 10. Colts are coming. The throw is complete. Down to the 42-yard line. Anderson puts the clamps on Wilhite. Clock is running now with 1:15 left to go in this first half. Elway out of the shotgun again without a huddle. They're spread out for him. Down he goes. And coming in to make the play was Henry Waxter. Waxter, who played at Nebraska, an extra man up on the line of scrimmage as they're coming after Elway. 58 seconds left to go. 2nd down and 19. Elway throws it away to stop the clock. And they'll have time to talk it over and see if they can get a big play, something going. They are shut out at the moment, 16-0.
Well, Denver is continuing the kind of, Baltimore is continuing the kind of pressure that they've been putting on Elway all afternoon. They're using a 4-man line now to try and add a little heat to that rush, but they're not sitting back as a defensive secondary and just hoping they won't score. They're blitzing their linebackers, and they're using a lot of man-to-man coverage in that secondary.
Well, of course, earlier in the year, and the Baltimore fans will remember, it was not a very warm welcome for Mr. Elway when he went to Baltimore. And Elway started that game, was 9 of 21 for 106 yards, but it was DeBerg who won it on a touchdown with 29 seconds left. Now it's 3rd and 19. Elway goes down all the way back at the 37-yard line, the 3rd sack for the Baltimore Colts. I'll tell you, when they decide to come, they make it happen.
Well, that time Greg Braceland, as we see him here, number 52, applied the pressure. He wasn't dropped back off into the pass coverage. We'll see him in the middle of your screen there on a blitz. He gets a little tied up, then forces Elway out of the pocket and makes the tackle for the sack.
Braceland, of course, again, I'll mention, a former Denver Bronco.
spent a short time with the Raiders. He was on their team the year they won the Super Bowl. Has a great special teams player, but has really found his niche in Baltimore, and they feel has been one of the most consistent defensive players they've had all year.
He's been starting since Cooks was moved inside his second year at Baltimore. Prestridge will punt, and now a whistle, and they're going to take a penalty for delay of the game. Colts got 3 in the first period, 13 in the second. They have 3 field goals from Allegre.
Fourth down.
Larry Anderson is downfield. And a floater. Anderson battling the sun a little bit, lets it hit. And it is going to be down at the 34-yard line. 7 seconds remaining to be played in this first half. Luke Prestridge not very pleased with that punt.
Well, I think you can bet Baltimore is going to sit on this and go in and feel very comfortable, at least satisfied with their performance in this first half.
32-yard punt. There's Dan Reeves. Very dedicated gentleman. John Elway there with him.
Denver's still in this ball game, but they're going to have to do a little talking to themselves at halftime to come out and play with a little bit more emotion and get some things happening for them.
Hagel, look here, he's going for the bomb, and it is incomplete. And it was Terry Porter who wanted a call, Tracy Porter, I should say, who wanted a call. He was covered by Steve Wilson.
Jay, they just heard me say that, so they went against what I was going to say. They tried to make me be a liar here, and they went for the bomb. I love to see that. That accomplishes a lot. Even though they weren't successful on it, it shows them that they're not content with a 16-point lead. They're 17-point lead. They're going to go for it.
All right. That's the end of the first half. 16-0, Baltimore.
For the extra demands of physical fitness, new Spartus, the different high-potency formula to supplement your diet. Spartus, with every essential vitamin and mineral in the USRDA, and more. More of the vitamins that help convert food and body fat to energy. Spartus, with electrolytes essential for muscle action. Spartus, every essential vitamin and mineral, and more. The extra strength formula for the extra demands of physical fitness. Spartus, the official sports vitamin of the 1984 Winter Olympics.
For the past 2 years, I've been telling you